I said it in the first deck build, and the sentiment still holds. Lord of the Red is one of the best, yet least respected ritual monsters in the game. Now, this lack of respect could be born from the fact that Lord doesn't really have a home, per se. There are a number of different decks, though, that try to run him, or at least that I've seen. First, there's Kaiju Lord, incidentally, my last build, where the strategy is to break the opponent's board using the Kaijus, and then use Lord's free destruction along with various traps to maintain control of the board. Unfortunately, the big weakness of this deck that has been significantly enhanced in the new Nightmare Sky Striker meta is its first turn can be rather underwhelming, leading to it getting OTK'd more often than other decks. It can also struggle with some tempo when Lord cannot hit the field early in the duel. Second, there is Red-Eyes Lord, which attempts to take advantage of the banish aspect of Transmigration and the numerous opponent activation elements of the deck in the Revival and Searchers to help maximize the usefulness of Lord. Unfortunately, the level mismatch and not having Red Eyes in its name kills a lot of the synergy Lord could have had with the Red Eyes. Also, thanks to collectors, certain parts of the Red Eyes build are unreasonably expensive. And while not super critical, definitely does help the build be all it can be, as it were. Third, there's the new Dark Lair Lord, which attempts to use Lord summoning to increase Diabolos summoning. However, Lord really just does not fit well in this build because there's almost no synergy beyond Lord being a ritual monster. In almost a sense, you could just throw in any ritual monster and achieve the same general levels of synergy. Fourth, there's Heretic Lord. This deck can be rather explosive when it opens nuts. However, it can be rather pathetic and slow when not drawing very strong, especially when Lord does not hit the field early. And not surprisingly, similar to the Dark Lair Lord deck, there's not a lot of interwoven synergy other than the fact that, hey, Lord is a ritual monster, and when we summon him, we get the Heretics effects. Yay! Fifth, there is Nekroz Lord. Not surprisingly, because Nekroz can basically be thrown into any smaller ritual archetype, which certainly classifies Lord and makes that ritual monster and its associated archetype better. Nekroz is still kind of that good. When the two demi monsters are released in the next set, this deck could be rather interesting thanks to the increased consistency for both the various Nekroz monsters paired with Lord, and their combination can be rather nasty when you're sitting on the field with the Lord of the Red and a Unicorn and your opponent doesn't have any type of board clear. Right now, though, the deck is still a very strong home for Lord. Sixth, there's Blue Eyes Lord, using either Chaos Max or not. From what I've seen, the more popular Blue Eyes Lord build includes Chaos Max, which I'm not a fan of because I feel the two really don't support each other well, and the 5 to 8 additional cards you need to run in order to effectively field and summon Chaos Max can just be better allocated. The simple fact is, Lord and Max look at each other and say, yeah, we really don't help each other, do we? Basically, Chaos Max just doesn't need Lord as a partner because Lord is not a guaranteed removal for Lightning and cannot negate other removal options against Chaos Max. And Chaos Max really doesn't do anything but sit there and then just stomp all over the opponent. And Lord's like, can you help me out here? No, I'm not going to get my effect based off of you. Okay, I'll just sit here and watch you destroy things. So with that said, I like Blue Eyes without Chaos Max much better, for Lord gives Blue Eyes some more bite and some interruption during the opponent's turn, which is a significant problem for Blue Eyes. Whitestone of the Ancients can provide free fodder for Lord summoning, and the level 9 and rank 8 extra deck summoning aspects of Blue Eyes provide good complementary support for Lord, both in the form of protection and triggering its effect when your opponent tries to sneak around it. The deck speed is also rather nice as well. Of course, the addition of the ritual spells can increase the probability of bricking, but in my opinion, not as much as Lord can help the deck. So I feel that Necroz and Blue Eyes without Chaos Max are the two best builds for Lord of the Red. Let's take a look at a build for each. First, Blue Eyes. The Lord of the Red elements are understandable. 2 copies of Lord of the Red, 3 copies of Transmigration, and 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites. The reason I only run 2 copies of Lord is that with the trade-ins in the deck and the ability of pre-prep to scoop Lord from the graveyard, 3 copies just tends to facilitate bricks. For the Blue Eyes related monsters, not surprisingly, it looks a lot like my Blue Eyes Pure build. 3 copies of Blue Eyes, 3 copies of Alternative, 1 Spirit, 3 copies of White Stone of Ancients, 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue, and 1 copy of Maiden with Eyes of Blue. The remaining monsters, I run 3 copies of Fairy Tale Luna. Now, while Luna is in my normal Blue Eyes build, I feel that Lord of the Red and Luna are just beautiful partners together. They ideally support each other in a way where Luna offers secondary interruption during the opponent's turn and can help trigger Lord's effect during the opponent's turn, and Lord's effect allows some additional interruption so the opponent can't just stomp all over Luna. Not surprisingly, a lot of the spells are similar to those in my Blue Eyes build. 3 copies of Melody, 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords, 3 copies of Trade-In, 1 copy of Raigeki, 1 copy of 1 for 1, 1 copy of Monster Reborn, 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, and 1 copy of Soul Charge. Now, the reason Soul Charge is run in this deck, but not my Blue Eyes build, is because Lord of the Red can do a lot, even without the battle phase, making it summons off a Soul Charge, and in addition, you bring out a Spirit Dragon or a pair of level 8s to make a rank 8, much more useful in my eyes than pure Blue Eyes, where, okay, I bring out maybe 1 rank 8, yay, I don't get my battle phase, party. Finally, 1 copy of Solemn Judgment. The extra deck includes 1 Azure-Eyes Silver Dragon, 2 Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon, 1 Cloudcastle, 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, 1 Michael the Arch-Lightsworn, 1 Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, 1 True Kings of All Calamity, 1 number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, 1 Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand, 1 number 23 Lancelot, 1 Link Karibo, and in a sense, 3 blanks. You can just throw in whatever you want. Links in this deck don't really get a lot of mileage for me, but if you want to add some more links, you can. Throw in a couple other rank 8s or whatever. These 3 spots really aren't of critical importance in my eyes. Obviously, the biggest problem with the Blue Eyes Lord of the Red build is the Lord of the Red elements take away some of the more indirect defensive elements of the deck, like hand traps. However, the synergy in this deck between Lord of the Red and Blue Eyes is excellent. So if you are interested in running Lord of the Red, that is a sacrifice you should be willing to make. For the Necroz deck, the Lord of the Red elements consist of 2 copies of Lord of the Red, 2 copies of Red-Eyes Transmigration, and 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites. This combo of cards can produce some possible bricks due to the 2 copies of both Lord and Transmigration, which you get unlucky and you see both copies early. Depending on what they are, they can temporarily shut down your pre-preps, making them dead cards, but I'm fine taking my chances in this deck simply due to deck space. For the Necroz portion of the deck, I run 3 copies of Valk, 3 copies of Colossalus, 1 copy of Trish, 1 copy of Unicorn, and 1 copy of Brionic, with 2 copies of Kaleidoscope and 1 copy of Mirror. While running a copy of Cycle is also worthwhile, in testing, I just never really got a lot of use out of that Cycle. For the remaining monsters, of course I run the 3 copies of Fairy Tale Luna. I run Luna in basically all my Lord of the Red decks, and 3 copies of Manju of the 10,000 Hands. I run 3 copies of Ghost Ogre as my hand trap choice, but both Ash Blossom and Droll and Lockbird can be useful as well. While one can definitely run more hand traps or another engine like Brilliant Fusion, I elect to run the Heretic engine due to holes it can fill in the form of a defensive standpoint. They provide great targets for Valk's Tribute effect to get some more draw power and field presence, and obviously they're good tribute fodder for Lord of the Red summoning, or even Necros summoning when you want to use Mirror and just not use elements in the graveyard. For the Heretics, I run one copy of Heretic Seal of the Sun for rank 8 plays, largely with Valk. Sometimes you make them with Lord of the Red when you need to go into like Lancelot attack directly for the win. One Alexandrite Dragon for rank 4 plays, largely with Amanju. 2 copies of Esset for summoning the aforementioned normal dragon, as well as setting up instant fusion based rank 5s. 1 copy of Gebeb for rank 4 plays, and 1 copy of Heretic Seal of Convocation. For the remaining spells, I run 1 copy of Raigeki, 1 copy of Instant Fusion, 1 copy of Monster Reborn, and 2 copies of Preparation of Rites. And for the traps, I run 1 copy of Solemn Judgment. Obviously, running a 3rd copy of Preparation of Rites would be also suitable for this deck, but I just like it as it is. I'm sure other people can find another card they'd rather dump and add that 3rd copy in, and that'll work better for them. For the extra deck, I run 1 Panzer Dragon, largely for making Constellar Pallades via instant fusion, but there are times when you can just leave it on the field, it dies, and it can take down an opponent's key card. 1 Elder Entity Netes, 1 Darkfire Dragon, 1 Quasar Dragon, 1 Star Eater, 1 Psyframe Lord Omega, 1 F.A. Dawn Dragster, 1 Herald of the Arc-Light, 1 number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, 1 number 23 Lancelot, 1 Constellar Ptolemy M7, 1 Constellar Pallades, 1 Karagorgon Anti-Luminescent Knight, 1 Tornado Dragon, and 1 number 106 Giant Hand. Those are the 3 rank 4s that I feel help me the best in my testing, but overall, as long as you have 2 to 3 rank 4s that you're comfortable with, that's fine. You can throw in the Utopia package if you want to be a little more aggressive. Throw in number 101 Silent Honor Arc if you want to be a little more sneaky and steal monsters without actually destroying them, and the like. Overall, there's not much more to say. It's a little annoying, I guess, that such a great card in Lord of the Red has become, in a sense, so forgettable. But again, it's probably just because Konami kind of made him, didn't give him the right synergy with Red-Eyes, weirdly enough, who knows why, and then just hasn't really supported him in any real context, so you have this really solid, great Ronin ritual monster. I think Blue Eyes works very well synergistically, and of course so does Necros, because when you're running ritual anything, Necros pretty much makes it better. Well, those are my 2 Lord of the Red decks. Thank you for your attention and your time. I'm out.